What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Six Cars. Just a very brief intro. Car Week is just around the corner, so I figured what better way to celebrate than to see all of the best cars and the best moments from the past 2 years. So enjoy this big mega tribute to Monterey Car Week, and once again, the highlights from 2023 and 2024. If you notice that some of the clips look a bit different, it's because there was 2 different cameras used that year, but either way, tons of great cars. And the next time you guys see me, we'll be in California for Monterey Car Week 2025. Thanks as always for tuning in, guys, and enjoy this Monterey Car Week mega compilation. Guys, it's Monday. It's only Monday. It's supposed to be the dead day. And look at that, Chiron Pure Sport. Get the Miami Blue 2RS pulling in behind it as well. Oh my. Driving around all day so far here on Monday. It's kind of quiet so far to start Monterey Car Week, but we have found a full green carbon P1 with the green wheels outside of RM Sotheby. This is a car we're pretty familiar with. It is actually a Toronto car as of late, but looks like it's heading back to the auction block again. But as you can see, everything is green carbon fiber, the green wheels, even the interior inside, if you can see through the doorway there. Green inserts in the door, green carbon around the steering wheel, and the center console too. Pretty damn impressive. And they are wheeling a black LaFerrari onto the stand over here as well, so we'll go watch that. But I believe the P1 will also be going up there too, so might as well have a look at it before it goes up. You guys can actually see the green carbon P1 in all its glory. Look at that, guys. It's like an Easter egg hunt here in Carmel, basically. You gotta look up and down, all around, check the underground lots. Never know what you'll find. Look at that, Wyra, BC. Got some photographers on the other side here, so I don't want to get too close and ruin the pics, but it's a cool spec. Usually, like, the whole body is exposed painted carbon fiber, so the fact that this is like a two-tone, just body paint and carbon fiber, blue and dark blue, is really sick. Like, that is pretty epic. Now we can get a bit of an up-close look. Look at that blue interior. How sick is that? Let's get around to the other side. Goodness gracious. Yeah, again, it's only Monday. We've been in Carmel now for about 20 minutes. And Chiron Pure Sport, Wyra, BC, not too bad. And it just gets crazier and crazier as Car Week goes along, guys, as we already know. Here is 2 incredibly special cars. So obviously you recognize probably the 275 Ferrari, but this, as you can clearly see, has the stickers on the side of it. This is the NART competition spec. So NART stands for North American Racing Team. So obviously the competition Ferraris are generally the most valuable ones in the world, and this is no different. So if I walk up to the estimate sticker on this car, well, we are looking at 5 to 7 million USD as an alloy body too, so extremely desirable, just absolutely incredible. White on the red seats too is just beautiful. It's really hard to top that. And here we have a 427 Cobra too, one of the most desirable Shelby Cobras in the world. The black on black spec as well is so sick looking and absolutely definitely works on this car. And as I mentioned, again, one of the most desirable Shelbys out there. Well, 2.75 to 3.25 million dollars. That pretty much tells you all you need to know about that. And again, just in pristine condition here, hiding in the layer. And as I shift around here, we've got a beautiful black 300 SL, which looks great. Black wheels. We have the brown interior. That looks honestly just incredible. DB5 beside it over there. A silver 365 Daytona Coupe, which looks just perfect. Very similar to the one that Niki Lauda previously owned. That car is actually in Toronto now, so this one is obviously very similar. We have the 550 Spider, and of course we did see the Celine S7 before that too. Now here is one of the best, the coolest, the most famous American supercars of all time, the Celine S7. fit with its massive 7-liter V8. And this one in particular is very special because it does have the competition package. So you will see some different visual upgrades, like the carbon fiber front splitter down there. Obviously this massive fixed GT wing as well, once again finished in carbon fiber. So it's quite different from your standard Saleen S7, and you rarely ever see these around anywhere. So the fact that you're seeing not just a standard Saleen S7 with a competition version is incredibly special. I absolutely love this quad exhaust back here. You can see the massive V8 power plant. The back section of this car is super long. It's absolutely massive. And anyone who played racing games like myself in the early 2000s will know this car very, very well. And it's just an absolute icon of American supercars. So this one is very special, and it's so cool to see this down here in this hidden supercar or collector car layer.
Look at that, the Aston Martin V8 Zagato. So we did see a red one back in Tokyo, and pretty sure there's only like, oh man, about 50 or so. Pretty radical looking car. Yeah, definitely that old school wedge shape to it. Look at that, guys. Spanish Bay Resorts on 17 Mile Drive. 1, 2, 3 Chiron Super Sports. So we got 2 regular ones. We do have the 300 Plus edition too, which does have some subtle differences. A little more streamlined, going for that obviously insane top speed record. I'll get up close here in a second once some of the crowds are cleared away. So yeah, the 2 standard ones here, you've got black with the blue stripes and then the white. They do have different wheels actually. So this one does have the multi-spokes on it, and we've got the 5 spokes here on the white one. Does kind of a Ninja Star look, sort of like almost like a 458 Italia kind of wheel. But yeah, a lot of differences between the standard Chiron. You obviously got these sort of EV110 style little small intakes at the front, and then the Super Sports are much, much longer than the standard Chiron. So a long tail of sorts. You can definitely see, when we don't have a regular Chiron to compare it to right now, but it is much bigger. This whole back section is completely different on the Super Sports. Also got these double stacked exhausts, which looks so sick on the Super Sport. It's a world record car. Obviously it looks quite different than its standard counterpart, but absolutely epic. And we'll go look at the 300 Plus edition, which is sitting just over there. So if you look at the 300 Plus edition here, so it's kind of cool. It does have the same black and orange look as the Veyron Super Sport World Record edition. But noticeable difference on the 300 Plus is that the 2 over there, you can sort of see has those little sunroofs on top, which this one is a fully closed cockpit, no sunroofs on it, so everything is sort of streamlined to go for that world speed record. And yeah, the first car to go 300 Plus, aptly named. You can see the license plate there, 305 miles per hour. So pretty damn sick, and I do love all the little orange accents there on the W16 in the back. It's such a cool looking car, the Super Sport Chiron.
Hey guys, so we were actually just leaving Polo Fields and we turned that car right around because we got word that this had just popped off one of the trailers, a CLK GTR. Obviously, we've seen the Roadster already this week. We've seen it multiple times. This is the first coupe that we have seen at this 2024 Monterey Car Week. And I mean, take your pick if you like the coupe or the Roadster more. Obviously, you can see one major difference there is that rear wing. That's definitely the more iconic wing that everybody knows, whereas the Roadster has more as the fixed GT wing. And of course, the coupe, you get that awesome roof snorkel as well. And there is a nice Bizzarini unloading beside it too, which is a really underrated and cool classic car. The CLK GTR absolutely takes the cake. That is incredible.
Yeah, pretty classy looking spec, still with the blue carbon accents on it. And it looks like it's got the sort of like two-tone, like dark blue and white seats on it as well. It does have the 5-spoke wheels, not the multi-spokes that we did see yesterday. And yeah, just another like nice touch that I do like there. Just those little ED110 style vents. Not bad. Really, really good start. Hey guys, just a quick step away from the Chiron Super Sport. We've got, look at that, LaFerrari in silver. I don't think this is Argento Nurburgring. It has like a bit of a blue flake to it, so I'm not really sure in the color code. What is cool about this one though, these are actually the FXXK wheels, so 10 spokes. I think the standard LaFerrari is the 5-spoke wheels. So yeah, this one does have the FXXK wheels. Yellow ceramics, obviously, just looks so good on this thing. My goodness. Just never ever get tired of seeing LaFerraris. The first one of Car Week 2023. Well, what a way to kick off the morning here, guys. This is the Zonda Nero, a 1 of 1. I guess you could say pretty much every Zonda is technically a 1 of 1. They're all so different from each other, so many different variations, but all black and no exposed carbon fiber on the body paintwork, which is pretty interesting. Most of them these days are exposed carbon, so see one that's just paint is pretty nice. Obviously the wing and the intakes and everything are carbon, but little tiny details. Obviously the Cinque intakes, this little tiny, I guess you call a mini shark fin, doesn't connect all the way back to the wing. Obviously, the one thing I do really love about the Zonda Nero, though, aside from it being the all-black sinister look, is that it is a manual, and those are always cool to see. So understandably, there's a lot of people around it. It is a Zonda after all, so it's kind of hard to get too up close to it, but there we go. Have a front look at the Zonda Nero. It is just beautiful. It never, ever gets old seeing a road-legal Zonda out in the wild. This is one that we've never seen before. It's new to the channel, and I gotta say, the spec is absolutely immaculate. Okay, yeah, we had to stop, because it wasn't just a plain F40, it's an F40 LM. So you can see the different style wing, obviously the carbon fiber, got the gurney flap on the back there. And yeah, this was the big tell, the different OZ Racing 5-spoke wheels. And obviously inside is looking a little different, a little more race car like. And yeah, having the front off is pretty cool. So it's getting loaded up onto the trailer, so timing was pretty perfect for us, guys. An F40 LM with no front end. Oh my, look at this trio cruising through the streets of Carmel. We've got F50 Zonda F, white with red carbon accents, which looks incredible. Sort of similar to Dr. K's that we saw quite a few times in Tokyo, except yeah, this one does have a bit of red carbon on the back, it looked like. And the rest of it's just plain black carbon. Absolutely insane. Much rarer to see a Zonda here than back in Tokyo, because yeah, Zonda Fs were never road legal here, so this is pretty nuts to see it driving around. And then we've got the blue Lyra BC that we saw back on day 1 in the parking garage, now is out in the flesh. And yeah, have a look, that blue interior is matching the exterior. That's quite the combo, guys. I mean, we are doing it big here at Car Week 2023, and it's still so early in the week. Here's a nice little random spot in an area where I haven't ever really seen any hypercars, in the middle of the Del Monte Forest. Got a Ferrari SP3 Daytona. Now, obviously, the part of the Icona series. It's not open top. It's not a track-only car like the SP1 or the SP2. Fully road legal. You can pop the top off of this as well. I love the heritage stripe down the middle with the classic red. It's got blue seats on it, and the SP3 has a lot of cool design cues. You can obviously see influenced by a lot of classic Ferrari race cars, and with a name like Daytona, it all makes sense. You even got the Gumball racing sticker on the back here, and just these ventilated or these slitted back end is just such a good look for this car. And I don't really have too much room back here, but you can kind of get a little glimpse of the back angle of the SP3. It's a fantastic looking car, and to see it out in the wild is pretty damn special. Again, absolutely nobody around, so we can take a minute to appreciate that and have a look at that. Just such a good looking car. Another random drive-by leap, a Lotus Avaya 2,000 horsepower electric hypercar, which is something that's brand new for Lotus. They usually make the tiny lightweight sports cars like the Elise and the Exige, but this thing obviously is an extremely modern looking hypercar. Have a look at the interior. It is just a full-blown race car for the road, an electric race car. My favorite part of this obviously is the back, these massive holes that go all the way through to the side, kind of like a la Ford GT, I would have to say. You obviously have the active aero back there too. That's a crazy car, and we just happened to stumble upon this in the middle of nowhere, really. So just a quick stop for lunch here, and look, we found the parking lot. There's two Utopias. I believe that is the launch or the press car, but this one is a custom by the looks of it. Yellow with the full carbon two-tone, and the tricolore stripe is really nice, and a cool wire roadster exposed carbon fiber with the gold trim. Nice little trio of Paganis here up at Carmel Valley Ranch.
Good morning, Monterey. Well, we literally just parked and didn't even have time to get out of the car. There's a Carrera GT. A couple of legends here in the parking garage. The F40 and the SE30 Diablo. So yeah, one of 150, and apparently, according to this pamphlet right in the windshield, the only black on black Diablo SE30 ever made. So that is pretty damn cool. Just sitting here in the public parking garage by the RM auction. And back up a bit, look at that combo. How nice is that? So good together, the Diablo SE30 and the F40. Nice 996 GT3 RS white with the red accents, the wheels and the side striping. Pretty rare car, this. I think less than like 300. It's the original GT3 RS. So not the 997. The 996 came first, but never sold in North America, so quite rare over here. Good day for a cruise, wouldn't you agree, Mr. Sheep? That's our roadster on our way to the next spot. Alright, Polo Fields is bumping. Look at that, a ditched LFA Nurburgring. If you include the Magarigawa event that we went to a couple weeks ago, that is 3 LFA Nurburgrings in the span of a couple weeks. 50 in total, so not too bad. And yeah, just sitting on its lonesome there behind the trailer. Well, there we go. Now the volume has died down. It's actually crazy how loud this car is. This could honestly be the loudest street legal car I've ever heard from factory. But this Apollo I is just incredible. We talk about unique and special cars that look one of a kind. Well, this truly fits that description. There is absolutely nothing like the Apollo IE, and that V12 is absolutely outrageous. Of course, you got the nice gull wing doors, and have a look at the interior too. It is full purple. Everything from the gauges, the shifters, even the purple carbon tub, everything is finished in purple. This is incredible. The mesh wheels here too. What a car. This is a great find here at the Polo Fields today, guys. We're doing pretty darn good for a Tuesday. Okay, so you saw the lights flashing there. My mistake. It's not a police car. It has police looking lights, but it's actually a Monaco Grand Prix pace car. How sick is that? Probably the coolest pace car I've ever seen, at least. Maybe the coolest one out there, who knows? Either way, that is so cool. We see it dropping down. You can see all of the old decals paying tribute to the old Can-Am cars. The Canadian flag on there shouts out, represent. The special 5-spoke wheels that are unique to the Can-Am edition. You also have the special wing, the silver and white two-tone with the black supports. Look at that. And then you got Denny Holmes' signature, and I think you got Bruce McLaren's signature on the other side.
Perfect.
Wow, special louvers on the front there too. I think that is unique for the Can-Am as well.
Yeah.
Just as we're leaving Polo Fields. Oh my goodness, a silver F40 with the LM kit. Wow, that is just mega. First things first, a Continental GT3R. I think there's only 99 of these in the world. What it is essentially a slightly homologated version of the old Continental GT3 race car, which, by the way, if anybody from Bentley is watching this, please get back into GT racing, because the Continental GT3 was by far one of the coolest modern GT3 cars in the world, and this was basically the tribute to that car. Once again, I think only 99 in the world, so incredibly rare. And you can tell with no people around, I don't think many people really even know what this is or really appreciate it, but 6 Cars definitely appreciates the Continental GT3R. That's a great find.
Huge crowd here, guys. Not for the LP640, even though it's very sick, but for that, the Apollo Evo. So we saw the Apollo IE last year, which already looked totally ridiculous, and this is even crazier. I'm gonna get up close as soon as we can, so we don't interfere with photographers and whatnot, so I can show you guys some of the crazy details on this car. You see the back of the car almost looks like an X-Wing fighter. All of the points sticking off of it are actually the taillights, and they've got this crazy looking triple exhaust, sort of LFA style, just a lot bigger. And you see the back, the rear housing over the exhaust, totally crazy. That is very reminiscent of the IE from last year. Got that huge carbon fiber intake on top. And yeah, at the front, you can see how striking it is. I also wanted to point out the paint job on it. It flips between like 4 different colors. There's like orange, yellow, red, there's some pink in it too. And again, check out the headlights. I don't know if they're running. It looks like it's a bit peeling off there. It may just be for stickers for now. So maybe just driving it during the day. But yeah, look at the exposed linkage in there through the carbon fiber louvers. It's so sick. There's so much going on with this car, so much to see. And we get up close to the interior here. This is pretty reminiscent of the Apollo IE, the Evo. The big thing on this is, look at that steering wheel. It's something like straight out of like a futuristic Formula 1 car or something like that. Absolutely mega. And then this is very Aston Martin Valkyrie style here, because you can see through to the suspension and the wheels. And yeah, it's another look at the paint too, as it shifts through the light. Got the Monza SP2 with the helmets on. How cool is that? Looks like Daft Punk driving the car. Whoa. Okay, back at Spanish Bay, 2 of the Chiron Super Sports have left. We do have a new one in its place with this incredible design that just got unveiled. Sort of this like candy apple metallic red, and it's got all these crazy orange pinstripes across the entire car. So the design is reminiscent of, there's a special edition Veyron called the L'Or Blanc, which is white and blue, but very similar striping patterns that the Chiron Super Sport has. And look at that, it even stretches down just above the exhaust with some orange pinstriping. Really suits the craziness of the Chiron Super Sport. And it has the Skyview sunroof as well. And look at that, even the intakes there, there's a bit of orange going through that too. Pretty crazy. And then yeah, there's the 300 Plus edition is still there in the world record livery. And then we step over there. We've also gained a Miura SV here at Spanish Bay. So not a bad lineup once again. This place never disappoints. So there is the Aston Martin Valor. This one is finished in full green carbon. We saw the gold accents under the rear duckbill wing. It's a V12, it's manual, so obviously it's incredibly raw. It's a very sort of analog but modern car, and the body lines are fantastic. I can basically refer to this as a, well, the body style looks at least as a British muscle car, even though it has a V12 and not a traditional muscle car V8. This is really what the looks are giving me, and it's sort of inspired by that one-off, I think it was the Aston Martin Victor many years ago, or not too long ago, but now it seems like they've made a very few select clientele
can purchase from Aston Martin. So this is the first one I've seen. It looks awesome. And as promised, there is the P1 we drove by very briefly while we were looking for the Valor Volcano Red. Can't really go wrong. It's a classic color for these P1s. And of course, this is how you do it properly, guys. Park it in race mode with the wing up so everybody can see it. That looks fantastic. Again, still my favorite of the Holy Trinity from the OG 2010 Hypercars. It's not an SS, it doesn't have the rear wing obviously, but it's still an EB110. It is still so damn good. I absolutely love the styling of this. It is like peak 90s hypercar. The styling, everything about this body is so good. And the gray is really nice. It's a little different from the silver one we saw back at the RM auction, so that is an absolute treat. And then we'll keep walking down the line. We see the Vantage in a nice blue. It looks really good. 48 Pista with the blue seats. And we do have a full carbon wire roadster with some nice red accents. That's a pretty good lineup for a random little garage, guys. So take your pick. I would probably have to go with the EB110, but that wire is a nice spec as well.
That got the weird speedster.
Jacob & Co. Chiron Super Sport. Wow, now that is a good spec. So although it's tough to see, all the Jacob & Co. logos are stitched into the headrest of the seats. You can see the blue and white exterior matches the blue and white interior. We're gonna get some driving action here as it pulls away from the crowds on 17 Mile. But it's a really good looking spec. And once again, I have to reiterate, the Super Sport is the best looking Chiron variant. And look at the crowds getting a full on parade here. Another epic collection of hypercars, guys. Senna GTR.
Post Pebble Beach Concourse Tour, and we have the star of the show parked at the side of the road, the McLaren F1 GTR Longtail, the absolute GOAT. There's no dispute. McLaren F1, greatest car ever built. This is chassis 27R, and this is actually the
first long-tail chassis to ever win a race. So it's got a lot of history to it. It's been restored by Lanzante back to its original Parabolica entry. And yeah, obviously number 27, so fitting with the chassis number. Just found Ken Okayama's latest creation coming off of a truck. You can see the low-tech Mercedes up there as well. This one is absolutely stacked. I don't really know too much about this car. I don't even know if it's been unveiled yet, but it does sound like it has a V12. And it's got an LFA style exhaust, except it's got 4 pipes. That looks absolutely crazy. Try to get around to the front here as well. It's definitely got the wedge shape. You can see the green inside of the doors and green accents as well. It does look like it's based on an Aventor. Just having a quick peek inside of the interior. It looks very Lamborghini-ish. That would explain that V12 sound as well. Look at the front too. It's kind of reminiscent of like a 595 Zagato. And oh, look at that. Video bombed by a yellow F50. It's officially getting crazy, guys. I don't even know where to go anymore. But we'll get the low tech coming off the truck too. And the code 57 or whatever number it is. There it goes, a nice little preview before it drives on the Tour d'Elegance tomorrow, and we see this on the Pacific Coast Highway. As long as there's no hiccups, we will see it rolling, but there it goes away on the flatbed, ready to be tucked away and get ready for tomorrow. Yeah, this is a car I was really hoping we'd see at least one of at Monterey Car Week, the Valkyrie. It's finished in like a slightly darker than British Racing green, I believe. Got the doors open. I'm someone in the passenger seat, so I don't want to get too close and bother them, but you can see the cockpit and the carbon fiber monocoque. Absolutely amazing. You got the little screens on either side of the steering wheel in replace of side mirrors. Yeah, it just looks like a Le Mans prototype. It's absolutely mega. Come around, you can see all the exposed linkage. Remember the one we saw back at Fuji Speedway back in May in Japan? That was like a dark gray. This one definitely pops a lot more with this green, and man, everything just stands out so well with these. Got these nice little like bronzy accents on it too, and it's got like beige seats. Just a very classy spec. My goodness, what a car. Okay, hold the phone, guys. Couple of rare Mercedes. Got to point out a CLK 63 Black Series because you hardly ever see these around anywhere. And to be honest, I don't even think I've seen a red one at all ever. And it suits it really nicely. That's a great looking car. But over here, and you already see Drive with Roy's already spotted it. We have the world's coolest minivan, the R63 AMG. Yes, if you didn't know, there was an AMG minivan once upon a time, and here it is. Again, I don't know if I've ever seen one of these before ever in my life, but at Car Week you could see pretty much anything, and this honestly might be one of the best cars we have seen through this entire week so far. Duties of his own car. Yeah, the CC850 sounds absolutely ridiculous. Might get another start up here. think that is our cue to get a move on and see if we can get a bit of driving action of the Koenigsegg fleet.
GTR 一辆，在40周年。
There's the newest member that we picked up along the way on the cruise in the flip paint McLaren Sabre, the 1 of 10, the crazy Batmobile looking McLaren. And yeah, looks like we're all stopping up here for a little rest stop. So yeah, perhaps you guys can pick your favorite out of the 13 Koenigseggs we have here. I mean, you got everything from the likes of the CCXR to final edition Agera RSs, the CC850, the Jesko, we got the Regeras over there. I mean, pretty much everything. We're just missing the Gemera, actually. That's the only one that I can think of that we are missing here. But I don't know if you're going to get a better Koenigsegg lineup than this anywhere, really. So, got to enjoy it while you can. And we have a look back at the McLaren Sabre that was pulling in. I think earlier I said there's 10 Sabres. I correct myself. It's actually 15 Sabres, but they're all built for the US market. And there's so many unique styling cues on this. Obviously, it doesn't really look like any other McLaren. It's very, very, very striking looking design on the Sabre. It's really cool how the wing sort of just flows in with the rear bumper there, and then with that shark fin on the top of it. This flip paint also is pretty wild looking. And if you look inside, even the steering wheel and the seat trim has the same flip paint on the edges of it. It's really, really cool. And we have that down here on the center cap too. So the spec is pretty wild looking on this Sabre. I think when it released, it was the fastest two-seater McLaren as well, like 800 plus horsepower. So yeah, pretty nuts. And we have the special Murcielago too, the 40th anniversary edition. I think all of them were finished in this unique paint job. I don't remember the exact color code. It is a green, but definitely comes off as more turquoise under the light. And it looks so good. And the coolest part about the 40th anniversaries, it's manual. And I do believe the 40th anniversary Murcielago did come with its own unique exhaust too, which sounds absolutely incredible. Really nice car. We've got the Aston Martin 177, as we pointed out before. And then over here, we've got a Pagani Wire Roadster, which also joined in on the fun. I think we've seen this one a couple times at this year's Monterey Car Week, but it's never really gets old seeing a Wire Roadster. You see the two-tone carbon. We've got the gray and the dark blue, and it's not very often where you have a Wire Roadster just sort of dumped to the side. We've got 13 Koenigseggs over there. I don't think Christian wants that parked with them, though. Okay, guys, this is probably the coolest thing we've found so far at Spanish Bay, the Gemballa Mirage GT. So just in case your Porsche Carrera GT wasn't already extreme enough, the guys at Gemballa can make it even crazier. Now, this one is full exposed carbon fiber with some wild acid green accents that are kind of reminiscent of the modern-day 918 Spiders. This one, I do believe, has a pretty interesting story. If you remember back from the early days of COVID, there was that Mirage GT crash in New York City. I am almost convinced, and I'm pretty certain that this is the exact same car that has now been rebuilt into a totally different spec. So the old one was blue. This one is now just a full exposed carbon fiber with the green accents. If I take you guys to the back here, you can see the engine cover as well. See all the Gemballa markings, and it also has those acid green accents painted right onto the back. So just an absolutely incredible car. Even the Mirage GT logo at the back is finished in that acid green. They sound absolutely remarkable. You guys already know the V10 and the Carrera GT. It's one of the best sounding cars ever. And the Gemballa Mirage GT sounds even crazier. They take that sound and take it to 11. So hopefully we get to see this driving at some point during the week. But even just to see it parked is an absolute treat. you're waiting for one more car to come off of this amazing trailer full of incredibly rare cars. But just as we're waiting for that last one to come off, just wanted to show you a quick close-up of the Ford Shelby Cobra concept. Apparently it has a V10, which I did not know about. It's built on the Ford GT chassis as well. And look at that. It honestly does look like a modern variation of the Shelby Cobra, which is exactly what it's supposed to be. I think they nailed the design. You already heard the sound too. It is absolutely incredible.
All right, good morning, everybody from Monterey. A little Ferrari Palooza here. The 458 Speciale Aperta with the 488 Pista Spider and like this tailor-made spec. Really interesting blue with the white and orange stripe, and it's got white seats in there. And then over here we've got the F12 TDF, so all special limited edition run Ferraris. And then over here, as we continue with the limited run Ferraris, there's my personal favorite, the 599 GTO, this dark blue with the gray stripe. Really, really nice spec. And then looks like it's got some of that same kind of silvery stitching through the seats and the dashboard. So nice. This color pops so well. The lighting is really good right now. It's making this stand out very nice. And then over here, an even more special Ferrari 599, the SA Aperta, basically a convertible 599 GTO, one of only 80, and all yellow with the yellow painted roof is pretty nice looking. And then we've got all the yellow accents through the seats and the stitching inside as well. And yeah, you can see it's got that humpback look. Sort of looks like a yellow Carrera GT from afar when you're walking up to it. But make no mistake, it's a very rare limited edition Ferrari, one of 80. And probably one of only a handful finished in yellow. And then just a nice 430 Scuderia over there as well. So good start to the day if you are a fan of the Scuderia.
EV110 race car. The Bizzarini. There we go. I've been trying to find this car all week, the Speedtail. So another Cizetta. And a 9972 RS. That's always good to see. Here we go, guys. Great find on 17 Mile today. We have a Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute. Now, saw this back at the meet in the OC, but of course sworn by people. It's a lot less these days in a Carmel, so we can get a better look at it. And obviously, it's not the Jesko Attack, so it doesn't have that big wing. It's more streamlined, going for top speed. You can see the interior, full carbon fiber. It's still got a classic Koenigsegg look, though, much like the Agueras and the Regueras, which we do have back here as well. I believe this is the world record car, actually, the one that actually did the top speed run in Nevada. Behind that, we have a Regera 2. This is peak car week right here, guys. Just driving along through a random road. We've got the McLaren Speedtail and a Volcano Red P1 right in front of us on one of the nicest driving roads you will ever see. And this is just a real treat, guys. Now, behind that classic Grand Prix racer is another legendary Mercedes, the Sauber C9. I believe we've seen this on the channel before, but I'm going to show it every single time I see it because this car is just so iconic. It's a Le Mans winner from the Golden Era Sports Cars Group C. This thing is absolutely mega. It's got a huge V8 in it too, so I doubt we'll hear it start. There's no reason for them to start it right now, but it sounds mega. Just to be able to see it here in person so up close is just so damn cool.
The Urban Bamboo PTS GT2 RS rolling out. I believe that color is worth, you know, a couple $100,000.
goes a little bit of driving action for the Senna GTR. Hopefully only the last we've seen of this crazy beast here at Monterey Car Week. How's that for a rollout? The 40th anniversary Mercy and the Diablo GT behind it.
Diablo. I've got those rims too. Very
How sick is that? Basically a road going Diablo GTR. Lamborghini Concept S, one of one. It's got the split cockpit there. So yeah, Gallardo underneath obviously, but very, very unique looking. That's pretty cool. We've got 5 different 177s rolling out here. Black, white, and of course only 77 of these ever built. So to have 5 of them all together, pretty remarkable. The black and the white one heading out first.
What MC12 Corsa on the road? What the hell?
Oh my goodness. Well, how's that for some post-quail traffic? The MC12 Corsa on the road, and I had no idea, but it's got a removable top. How crazy is that? Wow, that is unbelievable. With that, the Mirage GT pulled up, joined the party. Look at that, the blue and the red suits. Can you get any flyer than that? Driving a Mirage GT and a freaking MC12 Corsa on the road. I mean, this is how you pull out of quail in style, my friends. That is just unbelievable. And yeah, nothing road legal about that, but who really cares? It's car week, anything goes. All right, side of a street here. Well, not a random street. That is the Koenigsegg house down there. So obviously there's a big event going on because we have a Zonda Cinque here, and obviously an incredibly special car. One of 5 in the world. There's 5 coupes and 5 roadsters. The only one painted in green. So obviously be able to see at the side of the road here at Monterey Car Week is pretty damn cool and very special. There's a good reason why it's drawing quite a large crowd. I don't want to get in anybody's photos or anything like that, but we can get a quick look at it. Obviously it's one of the most iconic Zondas in the world. Any Zonda is a special treat, but I think the Cinque is probably the top for most people, I would say. I know there's a lot of one-offs, but in terms of the actual limited editions from Pagani, I think the Cinque is probably the one that's best known to everybody. And there is a cool Wyra BC here too. I don't know if we've seen this car just yet. It's hard to keep track of everything, but full carbon fiber with blue accents. And what's really cool, actually, even the blue rods connecting the front diffuser to the rest of the car are painted in that same striking blue. It's actually a really nice spec, and it's not getting a lot of attention, and that's well understandable when you have a Zonda Cinque parked in front of it. But that's a great looking car, I think. I don't think this car is getting enough love right now, but the spec is really nice and it's a good car. Another SC30 Diablo, the classic purple this time. burgundy and it's got purple brakes. The rest of the car is just regular bare carbon. That is a wild spec. Look at that, a sea of supercars and hypercars here at Car Week. We've got a clean FD RX-7 with the RE Amimia kit. I always get the name a little jumbled up, but either way, it's the Super G kit, so probably the most famous of the Mazda tuners. That's pretty nice. Yeah, it's pandemonium on this side street where they're keeping the Miller Motor Cars fleet. Gained another CCXR here. I'm losing track of which one's which, but as far as I remember, the other ones had red accents on it, so I think this is another one. I don't even know, guys. It's just overwhelming. This Apollo IE that we did see leaving the Quail is a new like special color that they've developed. It's this weird like blue and green tinted carbon. It's pretty unique, I must say. All these like blue accents across all of the aero and everything too. That crazy looking shark fin that it's got. Oh man, that's interesting. Gee, oh look at that A12 Comp. Wow. Damn, looks like a tailor-made spec potentially. Oh guys, this is just freaking mayhem. Alright, yeah, it is an R34, and we got a lap Ferrari here too. There's too much going on here, guys. Nighttime in Car Week is crazy.
And lo and behold, I was just saying, we haven't had too many A12 comps. There's actually two more here now parked outside of Spanish Bay. We've got this beautiful dark red one with the light red accents. That's a great looking car. Similar to one we actually saw back at Cavallino Classic. I'm not sure if it's the exact same car. You can see on the side, though, he does have number 27, which is the right number to pick. That's a great looking car. I want to show you the other one though because it's a really unique spec. Here is the other one. It's a light blue. I'm not even sure what the exact Ferrari color code is for this one, but it looks really good against the yellow accents. And what's cool is the yellow stripes go all the way through the interior. You can sort of see a yellow stripe through the seat and the yellow bands on the steering wheel. It looks like it has blue seats too to match. And what's really cool as well is these painted the rear, I guess you call it duckbill spoiler, in that bright yellow. It's pretty contrasting, but honestly, I think it works. It pops really nicely against the blue, and this is a really cool and unique spec, and one that I have not even seen pictures of before. So that's another great find here at Spanish. And of course, we still have the P1HDK and the Diablo SC30 parked there because, well, it's Car Week. They're never gonna leave. Another one. Shouts out DJ Khaled. This one is some matte or satin blue with gold accents. Wow. Okay, we have one of the wildest spreads of Koenigseggs I think that has ever been seen in the entire world. You can see pretty much every single variant from all different generations, but the one that stands out to me here the most right from the start, of course we're gonna go through everything, but this CCGT is a one of one, the only race car that Koenigsegg has ever built. So to my knowledge, they were supposed to be building this for GT1 style racing, but of course those regulations and those rules were scrapped, times changed, and the CCGT never ended up racing, never really went into production. But there is one car, and here it is. And I'm sure you guys are pretty familiar with this from older video games. I think the old Forza Motorsports had this, but it's absolutely ridiculous. The fixed wing on it, it still has the classic style of like a CCX body though, which is really cool. Well, there it is, guys, the brand new Bugatti Tourbillon, one of the stars of the show here at the Quail, the Chiron replacement, the new flagship hypercar from the French manufacturer. This thing's incredible. I'm gonna get as much detail as I possibly can here. So take a look at the back. It's still got classic Bugatti styling, but a very modern touch, as you can see. I absolutely love that they still kept the lines of the Chiron and the Veyron, just changed it just a little bit. The back is very Mistral-like. This very aggressive diffuser I think looks so good on this car. The main selling point obviously is a brand new engine for Bugatti. So they have ditched the W16, but thankfully it's still 16 cylinders. This one is a V16, naturally aspirated, but it does have hybrid assistance with Rimac battery parts. So there's a lot of new technology going on. with this car, and there's so many other cool little details. I'll see if I can get around to the side there so we can have a look at the interior as well, but the doors are absolutely massive. I love this, the single wiper blade, and what's crazy is it's all carbon fiber here. That is something that, hey, maybe I didn't notice it on the Chirons or the Veyrons before, but to my knowledge, that is something new and just a cool little touch. But I really want to get to the inside as soon as we get a chance here. All right, here is the interior of the Tourbillon. It's absolutely incredible looking. Look at the gauges that sit just over the steering wheel, the speedometer and tachometer. Absolutely lovely looking car, but you can see it's still got that essence of a Veyron or a Chiron, just with new modern touches, yet some of it actually looks like retro styling as well. So there's a bit of a mismatch of all different kinds of design cues in here that look absolutely fantastic. We've got the Gordon Murray stand here. Looks like the two road cars, the T15 and T33, are being a bit swarm, but arguably this is the coolest of the bunch here. It is the T50S Niki Lauda, the track-only version. Of course, this is technically the spiritual successor to the McLaren F1. We already know that. The 3.9-liter Cosworth V12 revs to 12,000 RPM. It's incredibly lightweight, so the power to weight is absolutely mega. But what's cool about this T50S Niki Lauda, of course, since it is not street legal, they can pretty much do whatever they want. So a lot of added air on the front. In particular, I really love the rear wing and the shark fin, of course, with Niki Lauda's signature is a nice touch. And the back, the infamous fan. We already know why this car is so famous, of course, well, legendary designer and the successor to the McLaren F1, spiritual successor at that. But the fan producing all that downforce is the real selling point here. We've got the pair of Lancia 037s over here. This is probably my favorite Group B car ever. Maybe my favorite rally car in general. I think the 037 is just such a unique design. Most of these Group B cars are hatchbacks, obviously. Well, I know this one is, but it doesn't have the traditional hatchback styling. This one's more of like a sports coupe, if you want to call it that. But it's just such a good looking car from every single angle. We've got the full engine exposed back there. Everything looks like it's basically original, like it hasn't been cleaned up too much since its rallying days. But over here, we have a Ford RS200. Obviously, you can see the matte black design, the Hoonigan sticker. This is the one that was owned by Ken Block and the Hoonigan crew. And if you played, I guess it was in Forza Motorsport. I'm not sure if it's in any other video games, but that's where you'd probably recognize this particular RS200 from. Once again, just another legendary Group B car. There's the second 037 over there with the classic Martini livery. And of course, Subaru, one of the most well-known rally brands in the world, in that classic World Rally Racing Team livery with the blue, with the green Subaru logo on the side, and absolutely gutted inside. This is just so damn cool. Honestly, like one of the best sections I've ever seen at the Quails that I've visited. So take your pick of which rally car you like the best. Look at this brown 918. I couldn't really get up close to it before because they were doing some kind of an interview in front of it, but it looks like a maroon paint. The entire interior is brown as well. That is absolutely gorgeous. Speaking of which, gorgeous, we have the green XJ220 following it out of the Quail as well. That's a pretty good duo right there. It was a pair of Hennessy Venom F5s. Haven't really seen them so far this car week, but man, they do look good. Gotta admit. That's a great spec on this baby blue one too with the stripes. Trica Diablo. Lovely rest mod, sounds fantastic. Valor. Whoa, wait, hold on, there goes the 959. How many people can you fit in a McMurtry Spearling? Apparently 3. Delta S4, yes! So we didn't miss all the Group B cars while we were waiting for the Temerario. Damn. And there's that Kalmar 959 thing too. Still looking pretty wild. Got the zingers loading up. Looks like we are pretty much wrapped up here, guys.
The crowds down at the other end are pretty insane. So made a little bit of a mission, made it to the exit, managed to catch the Chiron Pure Sports leading this orange SF90. Oh, that's Horatio himself. Didn't even notice that at first.
Let me hear you. Stop on in here.
On Broadway, there's the Senna GTR with the custom wheels, Carrera GT for a nice little drive down 17 Mile. Also got the YRBC Macchina Volante.
Not a bad way to start, guys. Just on the way to Pebble, actually, we have to make a quick stop. I know we've seen these cars before, but to see them all part together here outside of Carmel is pretty epic. We've got 2 street legal Zondas right in front of each other. You've got the black Zonda Nero, which is fantastic. Obviously, all black, painted in manual. And here we have the final Zonda we've seen, the Arrivederci, finished in that crazy, like, triple colored carbon. We've got the white and gray, the blue carbon, and the standard carbon down there. We've got the Valkyrie and the velour behind it. And over there we have the Jacob & Co. Chiron as well, which isn't really getting much attention because we do have Zondas here. That's the Pagani Zonda effect for you right there in the flesh. And don't know if we took another look at it back at the Quail with the roof off or when it was unveiled. But the interior, obviously all red with the classic Zonda gauges and all the Zonda switches. And behind us, we do have the Valkyrie as well, as mentioned before, finished in black. And behind that, we have the green carbon velour. So a pretty sick lineup as we are just getting ready to jump back on the road and head to Pebble Beach Concourse for the final day. the Le Mans winner here with the BMW V12 LMR. That looks great, and I love how they, even on these classic prototypes, they still kept the little kidney grills at the front. That's super nice. And my mistake, sorry, it's the Sauber C11 they have here from 1990. Now they all look pretty similar, but it's iconic with the silver arrow paint scheme on it. And the Nissan GTP ZX Turbo is just a mega looking car. And obviously I'm a huge Nissan fan myself, so that's one of my personal favorites. And I will take you around to the back of that car so you can see it in more detail, because I think the back might be the craziest part of that car. And we have the 935 over there as well. We see plenty of these at Laguna Seca over the years, but it never really gets old. Okay, a few very cool Mazda race cars. The RX 792P. I feel like a lot of people don't really know about this car, but it's one of the best looking race cars ever built, I think. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. And in front of us, we do have a 1989 767B, if you can see it through the ropes there. So it's the 1989 version, 2 years before the famous 787B that won Le Mans and basically got the car banned because it was so damn fast. But it's still got that cool green and orange renowned livery, an absolute legend. And beside that, we have the FC RX-7 from IMSA GTO. And this one we will definitely see on track today. I'm not sure about the two prototypes, but we will hear this one. It sounds absolutely ridiculous. That rotary engine cannot be topped. There it is, guys, the GOAT. We finally found a McLaren F1 here at Monterey Car Week. I know we've seen this particular one on the channel before, but for all the new viewers, of course, I'm going to show it again because this is obviously the greatest car of all time. I don't even want to hear a debate. There's no question about it. And hey, you know what? It's not the actual Le Mans winner, but the fact that McLaren didn't even really want to enter the F1 into Le Mans or racing in general at first. They're basically pressured into doing it, and they ended up winning on their very first try with this absolute monster. And of course, under the BMW 10, because it has that BMW V12 in it. So I'm trying to talk over all of the cars on track here. But hey, you know what? This Fina livery is pretty iconic as well. I think it's one of the best known ones out there. The Planet Hollywood branding. And there is, of course, that center seat position that is so famous on this car. So it's always a treat when we get to see in F1. The fact that we can get so close to it as well is extremely lucky, and why the Rolex Reunion is one of the coolest events on earth.
For this one, Armando, the Scott Pruitt Legends of Endurance Cup. Great group of cars. 1991 to 2011 IMSA, ALMS, Grand Am, FIA, and World Challenge cars for the face.
Look at that, we saw a bit of it on track. We just saw it pull into the paddock as well. The Celine S7R GT1, absolutely iconic. Probably one of my favorite race cars of all time, to be honest. It's so rare to see them these days, so obviously this is another reason why the Rolex Reunion is one of the coolest events on earth. And beside that, two more legendary American racers. We've got the Esperante GTR1, again from the GT1 class. Beside it is the road version of it, painted in this crazy green and yellow flip paint. To my knowledge, the only road version of the Esperante GTR1 in existence. This is something that I had no idea was even going to be here. So it's always going to get surprises at these kinds of events, and this is a mega one at that. Just want to show you guys inside the Pano's GTR1 street car quickly. We have a lucky opportunity to have a look. It's pretty much got these side sills just like the race car, but obviously just a few more gauges, just a bit more knobs and buttons. But other than that, it's just a full-blown race car for the road. So the only one that's homologated for road use, and it's essentially just the race car without the extra aero work. That's really it. And the fact that they painted in this like green and yellow flip paint too is pretty damn bold. So again, no idea this is going to be here. A wonderful treat. There's a great little deal. We've got another Fly Saudia Williams over there, but here we have the Toyota GTP Eagle Mark 3. So just another iconic late 90s IMSA race car here, and I would say maybe one of the best looking ones ever built too. And it's got that classic TRD livery with the red, orange, and yellow. But there's so many different little accents you could look at this car. The massive canards at the front, all the way to that giant, almost like double-decker rear wing. It's a true one-of-a-kind car, you'd have to say. And I would honestly say definitely one of the best looking ones out there. Two final parking lot finds here at Laguna Seca, just as we're leaving. A black and gold Singer DLS. This is the wide body one developed with Williams. The crazy variant, multi-million-dollar 911 resto mod. Just have a look at all the gold accents here, all through the intakes, the door handles, the striping on the side. Goes all through the interior as well. It's on the steering wheel, it's on the gauges. Absolutely remarkable. And then in front of it, look at that. We saw this back at the Quail, but can you ever really get tired of seeing just a casual EB110 ditch in a random parking lot? That is just, oh man, absolutely incredible. And the dark red color suits it so well. It's not the Super Sport, it doesn't have the rear wing or anything like that, but it's just such a good looking car. So incredibly rare these days, absolutely great to see it. And we have a Volcano Red McLaren P1 outside the valet here at, I think this is the Marriott Hotel. I'm almost losing track of our bearings here. Just been car crazy the last few days, guys. It's getting towards the end of car week where you're just kind of withering away, but we're still out here getting cars. And hey, Volcano Red P1 is always nice to see. CCX pulling in over there. So the parking garage across from RM is always stacked. We haven't really been in here yet this week, but check it out. We've got the sort of dark gray or black CCX that's posted up here in the handicap spot. Front park just ditched it in the middle of the garage. Hey, pretty sick. I don't really think we've seen this one out and about on the streets yet, so there's another Koenigsegg for the vlog. But over here, we do have that one-off Ferrari 456 Venice beside yet another Cybertruck. But this one is a one-of-one 456 Estate, so it has the station wagon body style. Now, this one we have seen at Car Week before. It was painted black the previous times we saw it. Now it has been resprayed in a dark green that's almost like British racing green. I think it is slightly darker though, but it's a pretty sweet car. I mentioned in previous videos though that station wagons, I really have a soft spot for them, and this one definitely rocks the look. And look at this. I thought the CCX would be the coolest thing we'd see in here, but I was extremely wrong, because you remember back from the Quail yesterday, we did see this Diablo GTR, and if you haven't seen the Quail video yet, well, I encourage you to watch that one. But this one is truly a one-of-one because, pardon the interruption there, but yes, this is a one-of-one because it's the only GTR that has the factory LM engine that they used in their Le Mans Diablo. So a lot of history with this car, and just crazy. It's just sitting here in the parking garage across from RM. Look at that, guys. We got the first customer, Yesco, driving by here in downtown Monterey. Oh my. Oh my. Have a look at the spec. We saw it back at the Quail, but now we're seeing it on the road for the first time. White with the red accents. Looking really good.
And yes, there we go, a road-going variant of the McLaren F1 finished in this light brown color. Pretty damn iconic. So we haven't really seen a road-going McLaren F1 driving around this year. We caught that F1 GTR Longtail on the Pebble Beach Tour Delegons. We didn't see this road car, so this is its first public appearance of Monterey Car Week. Greatest car ever built, obviously. So many different reasons behind it. That center seat position is iconic. Other cars have replicated it. It's still best known on the McLaren F1. Still the fastest naturally aspirated car ever built. Obviously, there have been many cars faster than it over the years now, but they've all required forced induction to do it. The McLaren F1 is the undisputed GOAT. That is so amazing. to see that on the green here at Pebble Beach. But if there's one road car that's going to trump the McLaren F1. Yeah, so before we get to that other F1 that's sitting right beside us, I wanted to point out this Formula 1 car, the McLaren MP44, powered by Honda. I think probably the most famous Formula 1 car of all time. It's driven by Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost, but it was basically the most successful F1 car ever. It won every single race in the 1988 season except for one. So yeah, they completely dominated. Absolutely remarkable to see this car here at Pebble Beach. Ayrton Senna, obviously regarded as one of, if not the best drivers ever. Alain Prost is also a 4-time world champion, so nothing to scoff at there. So that is pretty insane to have that here. And we're going to shift over to another very special McLaren F1. All right, there it is, folks. The star of the show, the undisputed star of the show, McLaren F1 LM. So if you have a McLaren F1 and you thought you can't be topped, well, you go and get the F1 LM. So I believe there's only 6 LMs ever built, essentially a road legal version of the McLaren F1 GTR. It gets a power upgrade, it gets the high downforce kit, so you get a lot of different styling cues, the front splitter, the GT rear wing, those little louvers over the top. Like I said, it's basically a road legal F1 GTR. They're all supposed to be painted in this McLaren orange. I think only 4 of them are in the orange. 2 of them had this weird strain livery that went to the Sultan of Brunei. Who else? And you can't deny him if he wants to say that he wants a different color other than orange. So hopefully we see those 2 see the light of day. Another early McLaren racer, the M1A, one of the first from 1965. And we've got the F1 GTR Longtail over there as well that we did see on the Tour d'Elegance, and then we got up close to it back at the Polo Fields. So yeah, just a remarkable lineup. I'm sticking to it. I'd say this McLaren section is probably the best of the best here at Pebble Beach Concourse 2023. So many significant cars. Got the yellow SE Aperta on display again. Again, one of 80, so very, very rare, but we do have another one that has joined the mix in this dark red. Not sure if it's Rosso Fuoco or not. I have to double check the color code. Either way, it's very nice. More of a traditional spec, as the yellow is quite unique with the painted roof, the painted mirrors. So you can see on this SE Aperta, the mirrors and the window trim, everything is finished in this like brushed silver, the carbon fiber roof. Got that 599 GTO again, which is just absolutely beautiful. That dark blue with the silver stripes and these like almost got a chrome finish to the wheels on this 599 GTO. The yellow brakes do look really good against it as well. We've got an F12 TDF sitting over here, and then a very nice dark blue on this 458 Speciale with the white stripes. Does look pretty nice in that spec. Okay, now one but 2 FXXKs with the Evo package. So yeah, we saw the SF90 XXs, the road-going XX cars, but now here's a more traditional track only. So based on the LaFerrari, of course. I think this one was on display here last year, but the FXXK is already pretty extreme enough. The Evo kit just adds a bit more air. We've got the shark fin at the back, and while the regular FXXK didn't connect the rear wing, you just had these sort of flaps on the either side of the car. Now we have a more traditional wing on the Evo kit. And we shift over here to one that was not here last year, finished in silver. This one is very, very nice, really cool. It's definitely an American owner. You saw the flag on the wing, and he's got the black and white American flag on top. What's cool about this one is he's got all the different FXXK Evo events that he's been to, or not just FXXK events, but any Ferrari XX program that is open to the 599s, the Enzo FXXs, these, and the F1 cars. So that is pretty damn cool. Got to catch them all like Pokemon. He's going through all of the events. And here are the other 2 from the XX lineage. You got the FXX based on the Enzo, of course, and he also has all of the XX racing days that he's been to stuck to the windshield. Really cool. I like how they leave them on there and don't take them off. But yeah, this one is based on the Enzo. It has its own unique sound too compared to the FXXK as well, even though they're both V12s. That looks really, really good. And we also have a 599XX. This one also has the Evo package. The regular 599XX does not have that big GT rear wing. The Evo does add that on, and it's actually pretty cool. It's like a little double wing, and you have these traditional regular 599XX winglets on either side as well. The livery is also quite cool, white with the red accents.
Nice little E30 there. The racing livery, a full roll cage. I will say, look at that. corner. It's not all supercars and hypercars tonight. So we've already watched some impressive cars go up on the stage and witnessed some crazy bidding wars, but there is still a lot to go here at RM, and some big cars that are on the way, like the gold manual LP 640. We see the Mint F40 back there as well. We've got the Fiat 8V Supersonic, which looks like it's just about to start up here. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much a wrap on the RM auction here. And I just wanted to show you guys as the 2006 McLaren is rolling out here. This guy's got the best seat in the house for sure. And I did mention in a previous video, it's either Raikkonen or Montoya, I believe, who would have driven this car. Number 3 should be Raikkonen's number, but not sure if they maybe swap cars or swap seats throughout the season. But that's pretty cool to just see sitting in the open. That guy is living large right now in that seat. But yeah, that is it for us at RM today, guys.
There's the brown McLaren F1. It was just freshly driven in because the fans are still cooking on it, and we just got it in time. The cover's sitting on the roof. Looks like they are getting ready to load it up onto the trailer as soon as possible. Look at that 275 GTB4 over there, which usually would get a lot of attention, but we kind of have the best car ever made sitting right beside it. It's pretty cool that everything exposed on the F1. You can see all the heat shields, the BMW V12, and we do have the door open there. We got Project 1 going to work though, so let them do their thing before we jump in and get a look at the interior. There we go. Pretty rare to get a look inside a McLaren F1 these days. Of course, they are all worth, you know, pretty much north of 8 figures, and they don't come out very often. So it's a pretty unique experience to see the center driving position cockpit of the McLaren F1. It's really cool having the shifter on the other side of you. Well, you've got a passenger to your right and a passenger to your left. What's really cool as well about this is the brown seats sort of matches this like brownish gray exterior paint on the F1. It's pretty remarkable, like I said, to get up close and personal with the greatest car ever made and one of the most expensive cars of all time. Look at that, pretty damn cool. There goes the 275 GTB up there, the 250 short wheelbase down here, and stuff is just cooking left, right, and center here.
Guys, we've been trying to find this car all week, and now here it is on the final day. The Bugatti Bolide, the extreme hypercar that is built for the track. Now, there's so many interesting things to look at. Right off the hop, though, these little X lights here are fantastic. I do love this spec. I believe it's an actual tribute to the Type 35. It's light blue with this dark red carbon fiber on the bottom, but there's so many interesting details we can look at with the car. These little louvers here, obviously the roof snorkel, you know I'm a big sucker for that. That's a fine taste with that one. The shark fin that stretches all the way to the back of this massive rear wing, and we've got a crazy looking exhaust setup here. That is something that is very unique to the Bolide, I believe. The back is obviously great. Everything's cut up back here. I love it. You could just see the tires just exposed completely behind this amazing rear diffuser, also finished in that same dark red carbon fiber. But that is one of the wildest cars I have ever seen. And when Bugatti obviously already has wild designs, but when you tell them that they can make a track only car with no limits, this is what you get. Here we go. This might be my second favorite car in the section. If you're asking why second favorite, I'll explain why in a second as we get further down the line. But we do have the F40 with the F40 race variant, which is known as the GTE, which Not even sure if I've actually seen one of these in person before, so we're gonna get a little bit closer and take a look at it. So obviously we've seen the F40 LM on the channel before. The GTE is a little bit different. It's got slightly different arrow. Once again, number 27. I already showed you guys what's on the wrist. That is the number that you want to have. That is the best one out there. But the GTE does have a slightly different wing from obviously the standard road car as well as the LM and the 5-spoke Yankees. Hey, shout out to the JDM world. That's really, really good looking. Beside that, we have the EB110 Super Sport, and we have that EB110 race car we saw back on Thursday in the Pebble Beach Tour d'Elegance, rather, where all or most of the concourse cars drive on Highway 1. So now we have reached the McLaren F1. Now you guys will see why I said the F40 is my second favorite pick out of this class, because the McLaren F1, as we already know, is the GOAT. So we've got, once again, the road version and the race version over there. So obviously, the F1 GTR is quite famous. It won Le Mans in its first try in 1995. Not that exact car, but it just in general. The F1 GTR, absolute legend, just like the road variant. This one here is XP4, so experimental prototype number 4 from the original McLaren factory cars. 106 chassis in total, and this one's finished in a striking blue on sort of a light, I would say, cream interior, just in immaculate condition, obviously, and just an absolute treat to see both the road and the race variants here side by side. And there is the F1 GTR in that Fina livery, just really, really iconic, guys. There's a standard version of this car, which we'll look at right now. There's also a long-tail GTR variant. I personally prefer just the standard-looking McLaren F1s before they switched over to the long-tail, but to each their own. Either way, any McLaren you see is an absolute special treat. And once again, just to be able to see this in person is incredibly cool. And over here we have the 993 GT Coupe. Beside that, a 993 GT2. And we also have the CLK GTRs down there. So I know we've got a lot of CLK GTR content this week, but it's impossible to not look at them every single time you see them. And once again, it's incredibly cool that we have both the road and the race variant. So like I said, we've seen a lot of the road cars, so I'll take you over to the race car. We have a closer look at that one. Now there is the CLK GTR race car, and I would say the D2, the Warsteiner, is probably the most well-known or iconic livery for the CLK GTR. And again, just one of the absolute kings from this golden era of GT1 sports car racing, back when they were the top class at Le Mans. This was obviously one of the kings. So once again, this whole section here at Pebble Beach with the road and the race variants of all of these 90s BPR and FIA GT cars, incredibly special, and one of the coolest things I've ever seen at any Pebble Beach concourse I've ever been to. So the F60 America, there's 10 in the world, all built for American customers. Now, what's really interesting with this, obviously it looks like it's based on the F12 chassis, but inside you do have these special seats that have the American stars and stripes running right through the center. And what is also interesting as well, you can see one half is red, the other half here is black. They're really good looking cars as well. They all come in different specs. This one obviously is very similar, but they do have slightly different striping. This one has red accents around the white stripe. You can still see the red and black contrasting seats with the American accents. And over here, we also have a yellow one finished with a blue stripe, which is really good looking. So as mentioned, there's 10 of these in the world, all built for the American market. So what you're looking at here is 30% of all the production of the F60 Americas. Okay, obviously a few historic Ferrari racing cars here. The 250 Testarossa, which is a Le Mans winner, and one of the most iconic race cars, not just Ferraris, of all time. Absolutely beautiful and lovely design. Beside it, though, is probably the most famous of these classic Ferrari race cars, the 250 GTO. And what's wild about this Ferrari display, there's not one, there's actually 2 of them here in our presence. Now, the blue and yellow one is incredibly bold design. I really like it, actually. Obviously, you can see a lot of guys with their modern Ferraris get this similar heritage stripe on their cars. Now you can see what it's paying homage to, and this one does have blue seats as well, which a lot of classic Ferrari race cars actually have that feature. And behind it, we have silver with the blue, white, and red stripes. Now, this particular car was actually the exact former most expensive car in the world. It's actually David McNeil, the CEO and the founder of WeatherTech Floor Mats, who bought this car. I think it was maybe like 10 years ago or something like that. It was a while back, but either way, former most expensive car in the world before it got trumped by the 300 SLR that was like 130 million or something, absolutely crazy like that. But you can see there's so much history with this car. The design is absolutely gorgeous and looks so good. There's a very good reason why this car is worth so much money. I think the selling price was about 75 million US. So absolutely outrageous that there's two of these on the lawn at the exact same time. We have the 250 GT Berlinetta behind those two 250 GTOs as well. Another great looking classic Ferrari race car. This one is the NART North American Racing Team. So now you guys can see, as I mentioned before, with those two 275 convertibles, that is what NART stands for. So obviously a very famous collaboration between Ferrari and the North American Racing Team. And the 250 GT, I think this is the short wheelbase variant too, is definitely one of the best looking cars that they've ever raced. Speaking of which, look at that. 333 SP from the late 90s. One of the most iconic Le Mans prototypes out there for sure. It raced in major races like 24 Hours of Daytona, the 12 Hours of Sebring as well. And the V12 in this is honestly one of the best sounding things you could ever hear in your life. I've been lucky enough to hear one of these racing around Daytona many years ago, and it's just ear-shattering in the best way possible. And just the massive wing that hangs over the back is such a cool feature. Inside, obviously, bare bones. You got a steering wheel, a bit of roll assistance, and that is pretty much it. It's just such a lovely car. Once again, very special. We get to see this on the lawn. Well, stuff is starting to pack up here at the Ferrari lawn. There goes one of the three F60 Americas, 10% of the total production driving by right there.
Oh, 22B STI. Nice and random spot going into Polo Field. Sick. Yeah, apologies if there was a bit of shakiness at the start. I did have to get a move on in order to catch it on the road, as I was a little further away than I was anticipating for its arrival. But F1 LM out in the flesh. That could be the best spot of any car week, I have to say. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head that would top this. There's the brand new SF90 XX Spider. Wow, wow, wow.
Here we go, guys. It's the end of car week and everything's coming to the polo fields all at once. There goes the CLK GTR 250 Testarossa. Ridiculous. Unbelievable, that sound from the BMW V12. So happy we got to catch that. Wow. There goes the new coach-built Touring Superleggera. And behind that, one of the 250 California Competizione specs, adding to the millions and millions of dollars here. Oh my goodness. Just pandemonium here, everybody. the code 0. There's the yellow F50, and the silver F40 LM is behind that.
Line up right here, please. So I can figure out where